Prologue. Rhodes, one of the most famous islands in the Mediterranean, a place where ancient history, dramatic landscapes, and the sea have shaped life for thousands of years. Every year, millions of visitors arrive here. They come for the beaches, the medieval old town, the crystal-clear waters, and the sunshine that seems endless. But very few ever see Rhodes like this. Before sunrise, before the crowds, before the island awakens. It is 5:40 in the morning, May 27, 2026. The streets are almost empty. The harbor is silent. Only the sound of waves, the wind, and the first birds break the stillness. While most visitors are still asleep, a new day is already beginning. And so is our journey. Today, we will travel across Rhodes, from the coast to the mountains, from the quiet streets of the city to the panoramic viewpoints of Profitis Ilias, along winding roads, historic landmarks, hidden bays, and landscapes that have witnessed centuries of history. Our guide this morning is Marco. Not a tour guide, not a local expert, simply a traveler with a curiosity for places beyond the usual tourist routes. Together, we will experience Rhodes in its most peaceful hours, a side of the island that many visitors never encounter. This is a journey through Rhodes before the world wakes up. This is Morning in Rhodes. It is 5:40 in the morning. The night has not completely faded away. The streetlights along 28th Octavio are still shining. Their warm yellow glow falls across the empty asphalt, the cars parked for the night, and the facades of buildings that have not yet awakened to a new day. Rhodes is asleep. The hotels are asleep. The restaurants are asleep. And so are the visitors who came to Island in search of sunshine, sea, and rest. Only a few hours ago, these streets were filled with voices, conversations, and movement. Now, everything is different. Now, the city belongs to silence. There is a special moment in every day that most people never see. A brief period between night and morning. A moment when a new day is already approaching, but has not yet fully arrived. At this hour, time seems to move more slowly, and Rhodes reveals its true character. Without the crowds, without the traffic, without the rush of the day. Only the streets, only the sea, only the sky, and the first sounds of a waking world. The birds begin their morning chorus long before sunrise. Their songs drift between the buildings and gradually fade toward the sea. They sense the coming day before we do. They are the first to greet the light, the first to announce that the night is ending. One by one, the streetlights switch off, first on one side of the road, then on the other, as if an invisible conductor were bringing the final act of the night to a close. The city begins to open its eyes, slowly, carefully, but inevitably. With every passing minute, the sky grows brighter, the shadows grow shorter, and a new day draws nearer. It is now 5:45. At the intersection of Erythru Stavru and 28th Octavio, the calm still remains. Night has not yet completely surrendered to the morning. The streetlights continue to illuminate the sidewalks and the parked cars. A soft glow reflects from the windows of closed restaurants. On the left stands Kipos. On the right, Veto. In a few hours, their terraces will be filled with people. The aroma of coffee will mingle with the scent of the sea. Conversations will fill the air. But for now, everything remains quiet. There are moments when the world seems to not long, only for a few minutes, just before the day truly begins. At times like these, it is possible to hear things that are usually hidden beneath the noise of daily life. The rustle of leaves, the distant sound of the sea, the movement of the wind, the songs of birds. Together, these sounds form the first symphony of a Rhodes morning. The sky slowly brightens. The deep blues of night turn silver. Morning gradually takes possession of the city. It is for moments like these to see a place as it truly is. It is 5:50 in the morning. The sky above Rhodes is growing brighter with every passing minute. Night is slowly retreating. 28th of Octobrio looks very different now than it did just moments ago. Ahead stands Hotel Europa. Beyond it, the first glimpse of the sea appears. The city is beginning to wake up. The first pedestrians emerge onto the streets. There are only a few of them. Each has a destination, a morning of their own, a story of their own. Some are on their way to work. Some have set out for an early walk. Others simply want to witness the beginning of a new day. There is something distinctive about people who are awake before sunrise. They do not yet carry the weight of the day. They move calmly, quietly, lost in their own thoughts. A cool breeze drifts in from the sea. The scent of salt in the air is a reminder that the coastline is near, very near. Soon, it will open before us in full. It is 5:56 in the morning. The road leads toward the waterfront. There stands a man whose name has been remembered on Rhodes for more than 2,000 years. Diagoras, Olympic champion, one of the island's most celebrated sons. His monument faces the sea, the same sea he once looked upon in his own lifetime. The story of Diagoras is about more than athletic victory. It is the story of a man who left a lasting mark on history. His sons became Olympic champions, so did his grandsons. The name of one family became known throughout the Greek world. According to an ancient legend, after one of his sons won an Olympic victory, Diagoras was lifted onto his shoulders and carried before the cheering crowd. It was then, the story says, that a voice called out, "Diagoras, you may now die a happy man, for no greater honor can come to a mortal." Whether history or legend, the story has survived for centuries. Perhaps because people remember those who lived with dignity and purpose. Just as travelers remember the places that leave a lasting impression on their hearts.
Taxes for the fires. I hope you know that Kallithea.
It is 6 in the morning. The sun has begun to illuminate the city. The doors of Hotel Europa open. Marco steps outside, calmly, without haste, like someone who knows exactly why he chose to wake before sunrise. Some people love the evening. Others are drawn to the lights of the night. Marco prefers the morning, the hour when the world is still quiet, the hour when the road belongs to those willing to set out before everyone else. He pauses for a moment. He looks down the street. He looks toward the sea. He looks at the city as it slowly awakens. A journey does not begin with a destination, nor does it begin with a map. It begins with the moment a person opens a door and steps outside, into a new day, into a new light, onto a new road. And at this moment, Marco's journey begins.
Missä on kypärä? Aha.
Tuossa se on. Mä laitan nämä, niin me kuulemme toisin.
Juu.
Sit sinä joudut pätkimään tuota filmiä.
Juu.
Täällä on hölmöjä kohta. Miten kauan me menee aikaa?
Sinne?
Niin.
No pari tuntia. Tarkoitan kaiken, koska se on lyhyt matka, noin 40 kilometriä.
Kerkeekö takaisin milloin?
No, kello 1, en tiedä.
Minulla olisi kello 12 sovittu meno.
Jaa. No sitten pikana lähdet takaisin. Ei minulla kiire.
It is 6:05 in the morning. The city has awakened a little more. The sun is rising higher above the sea. The shadows are slowly growing shorter. A new day lies ahead. Air through Stavros Street remains quiet. Traffic is still light. The coolness of the morning lingers in the air. In a nearby parking area, cars, scooters, and bicycles wait patiently, each one ready to carry someone into a new day. Marco approaches his scooter. He begins his familiar preparations. Calmly, carefully, without haste. Every traveler has their own rituals. Some check a map. Some look at the weather forecast. Some take their first photograph of the day. Marco prepares his vehicle and looks ahead, toward the road, toward new views, toward this morning's adventure. Every journey begins with a decision. The decision to set out. The decision to discover something new. The decision to follow a road without knowing exactly what awaits beyond the next turn. That decision has now been made. The road is waiting.
lehtä nyt. Ja otetaan minua siellä kulman takana, koska tarvitsen ensin päästä satamaan ja sitten kuvaamaan, kun sinä...
Tosta.
Kyllä,
Oikealla.
oikealle. Lähde nyt.
It is 6:10 in the morning. The preparations are complete. Marco starts the engine. A gentle hum breaks the morning silence. Not an intrusion, but a signal that the journey is about to begin. The scooter rolls forward. Hotel Europa fades behind him, and with it, the anticipation of departure. Ahead lies the road. The sun illuminates the buildings. The sea sparkles to the right. The city is only beginning to wake. Traffic remains light. The streets seem to belong to those who chose to rise early. Marco passes the monument of Diagoras. A few moments ago, it was a reminder of the past. Now it becomes part of the journey, part of the road, part of this morning. Freedom does not always require great distances. Sometimes freedom is simply the ability to choose a direction and begin moving. The road now leads toward the Windmills promontory, toward the sea, toward the horizon. It is 6:25. The journey arrives at one of Rhodes' most recognizable landmarks, the Windmills promontory. Here, the sea surrounds the landscape on nearly every side. For centuries, the wind has shaped this place. It guided sailing ships, turned the blades of windmills, and helped generations of sailors find their way into the harbor. This morning, it welcomes Marco as well. He rides through the promontory more than once, not because he is in a hurry, but because the place invites him to linger. The sea opens in every direction. The horizon seems endless. The wind moves freely across the water. Moments like these reveal why the sea has always fascinated people. It speaks of freedom, of space, of possibility. The aquarium building stands at the far end of the peninsula. Beyond it stretches a world of blue, a sea that reaches far beyond the limits of sight. Marco stops for a moment. He listens to the waves, feels the wind, and allows the morning to speak in its own language. It is 6:40 in the morning. The road leads to the walls of Rhodes' Old Town. Massive stone fortifications rise beside the sea. They have witnessed centuries of history. Wars, merchants, sailors, travelers. And this morning, they witness the birth of another new day. The first sunlight touches the towers. The shadows slowly retreat. Golden light spreads across the ancient stone. Rhodes' Old Town is considered one of the best preserved medieval cities in Europe. These walls were built for defense. Their purpose was to protect the island, to protect the harbor, to protect its people. Today, they tell a different story. A story of history, quietly, without words. Marco rides alongside the fortifications. A modern scooter and a centuries-old stronghold share the same moment. Past and present travel side by side. That is part of what makes Rhodes unique. Here, history is not confined to a museum. It remains alive in the heart of the city.
Siellä on hieno paikka, missä on se toinen liikennevalo, pieni hiekkaranta tuossa ihan lähellä.
Joo, no sinä tunnet vai?
No, siinä on se purki, mistä ihmiset menee tiedä.
Ajan perässä.
Joo,
Ajan
se
perässä.
on hieno paikka. Minä olen ajanut tässä paljon ja kävellyt.
Oikein hyvä.
Ei ole noin 500 metriä.
Ai ja minä tulen
Joo,
sitten.
joo.
It is 6:55 in the morning. Beyond the ancient walls lies the harbor, the heart of Rhodes, a place where journeys have begun for thousands of years. The water is almost perfectly calm. Boats rock gently in their moorings. Their masts rise against the brightening sky. The sun continues its ascent. Its light reflects across the surface of the sea. Gold turns to blue. Blue turns to silver. With every passing minute, the landscape changes. Marco pauses to take it all in.
Hello, baby.
The sea has always been Rhodes' most important road. Along these waters came merchants, soldiers, explorers, and dreamers. This morning, the harbor is peaceful. Yet within its silence, the stories of centuries can still be felt. Small waves lap gently against the shore. The first fishermen prepare for the day ahead. The city is awakening more fully now. And the journey continues. Ahead lies Kallithea, a road following the coastline, and new views waiting to unfold in this unforgettable world. It is 7:10 in the morning. The city gradually fades behind us. The walls of the old town recede into the distance. The harbor disappears from view. Ahead lies Leophoros Kallithea, one of the most scenic coastal roads on Rhodes. The sea stretches to the right. The hills of the island rise to the left. Between them runs a road seemingly made for unhurried travel. The sea accompanies the journey almost every moment, sometimes only a few meters away, sometimes hidden briefly behind rocky outcrops, but never completely gone. Its presence is constant, in the sound of the waves, in the scent of salt carried by the breeze, in the cool morning air, and in the sunlight dancing across the water. Marco rides at an easy pace, without haste, without a schedule, just the road, just the landscape, just this morning. Some roads connect places. Others become the destination themselves. This road belongs to the latter. It is 7:25. Ahead lies Kallithea, one of the most beautiful stretches of coastline on Rhodes. Its name can be translated as beautiful view, and the name feels well-deserved. The sea, the cliffs, small bays, sunlight, everything seems to exist in perfect balance. The road follows the contours of the shoreline. Around every bend, a new view appears, a new color, a new perspective. The journey unfolds like a story told slowly. Each landscape is a new page, yet all belong to the same narrative. Kallithea has been known since ancient times for its natural springs. People once came here seeking health, renewal, and strength. Centuries have passed. Empires have risen and fallen, but the human desire to find peace remains unchanged. Perhaps that is why Kallithea continues to attract so many people today. It is 7:40 in the morning. The road brings us to Faliraki, one of the best-known resort destinations on Rhodes. Most people know this place full of life, full of voices, full of people. But this morning, Faliraki reveals a different side of itself. The central square is almost empty. A fountain murmurs softly. The beach waits for its first visitors of the day. Sunlight spreads across the sand. The sea is calm. It is hard to imagine that only a few hours from now, thousands of people will fill this shoreline. For the moment, the place belongs to the morning, to silence, and to the few who are awake to witness it. Marco stops for a moment. He looks across the bay. He looks out to sea. He looks toward the horizon. And perhaps he is thinking the same thing many travelers have thought before him. The most beautiful moments are rarely the loudest. They are the quiet ones. And that is precisely why they remain. It is 8:10 in the morning. The sea gradually falls behind. The road begins to climb. the landscape starts to change. The coastline gives way to hills. The city gives way to forests. A new stage of the journey begins. Each turn takes us a little higher, and each turn reveals a new view. The higher we climb, the smaller the world below appears, and at the same time, the larger it seems. There is an old idea. If you want to see farther, you must first rise higher. It is true not only of mountains, but of life as well. The road toward Profitis Ilias is a reminder of that. It leads away from noise, away from schedules, away from everyday routines, and toward silence, toward open space, toward the horizon. It is 8:20 in the morning. Beyond another bend, a view appears that many consider the most beautiful on Rhodes, Anthony Quinn Bay. From above, it seems almost unreal. The water glows in shades of deep blue and turquoise. Rocky cliffs embrace the bay. Green pine trees meet the sea. Sunlight turns the water into liquid light. The bay was named after the American actor Anthony Quinn, but its beauty is far older than the history of cinema. It was here long before tourism, long before roads, long before names. Marco stops for a moment. Some views deserve silence. This is one of them. There is no need to say anything. It is enough to look, to listen to the wind, and to let the landscape speak for itself. Perhaps it is in moments like these that people understand why they travel. Not for photographs, not for landmarks, but because sometimes the world appears exactly as they hoped it would. And when it does, there is no better place to be.
It is 8:30 in the morning. The climb continues. The road rises higher and higher. Gradually, the landscape of Rhodes unfolds below. Beaches, bays, roads, towns. Everything merges into a single panorama. From above, the world looks different. Details fade away. The bigger picture comes into view. Perhaps that is why people are drawn to viewpoints. Not only for the scenery, but for a new perspective, a different sense of scale, a new way of seeing. Marco stops for a moment. In the distance lie Faliraki, Kallithea, and the coastline we followed earlier this morning. It is hard to believe that only a few hours ago, the journey began on the quiet streets of the city. Now, the entire island seems to open before us. The wind grows stronger. It carries the scent of the sea, the fragrance of pine trees, and the warmth of a summer day still unfolding. Moments like these cannot truly be captured in a photograph, yet they remain in memory, sometimes for decades. It is 8:40 in the morning. The road reaches its highest point, Profitis Ilias, one of the most remarkable viewpoints on Rhodes. A small white chapel stands quietly above the island. Not grand, not imposing, simply present. And perhaps that is where its strength lies. Throughout Greece, chapels dedicated to the prophet Elijah were often built on mountain summits, places where the view stretches far into the distance, places where sky, sea, and silence meet. Marco walks toward the viewpoint. Before him unfolds almost the entire eastern coast of Rhodes. Faliraki, Kallithea, Anthony Quinn Bay, the roads we have traveled this morning, all visible at once. Far below, life continues as usual. People head toward the beaches, cafes open their doors, the day begins. But up here, time seems to move more slowly, more quietly, more deeply. Sometimes the most meaningful moments need no words. It is enough to look, to breathe, to listen to the wind, and allow the landscape to remain with you long after the journey continues.
Kyllä kenttä ei ole. Kameran eteen ja sitten.
Sinä
Joo, se on
kamera päällä. Se tänne. Ajanko minä skootterit tänne?
No miksi ei?
Tuonne katoon.
Kyllä, miksi ei?
Ei onnistu. Se ei onnistu.
Hyppy katolle.
En jaksa. Sattuu jalka. Se olisi kova seinä nousta ylös. Siinä pitäisi olla pikapuut siinä just sen takia jolle, että ihmiset menee siihen.
It is 8:50 in the morning. At the summit, people often encounter something unexpected. Not a sense of victory, not a sense of achievement, but a sense of peace. The kind of peace that appears when there is nowhere else you need to be. Spread out before Marco is the landscape of Rhodes. The sea, the mountains, the bays, the roads. Everything this morning's journey has passed through. People often believe that happiness lies somewhere in the future, beyond the next bend, at the next summit, in the next achievement. But life gradually teaches a different lesson. The most important moment is the present one. This view, this wind, this light, this morning. Perhaps that is one of the reasons we travel, to return to the present moment, to rediscover what truly matters.
Tavallaan se päähän on melkein tässä. Nyt 5 minuuttia. Joo. Olet sinäkin? Kyllä, molemmat. Tässä on WC. Ajanko hitaasta alas vai tähän?
It is 9 in the morning. The time has come to head back. Every journey reaches a moment when the road changes direction, when going becomes returning, when experiences begin
Yeah,
to
here's
turn
Marco.
into memories.
Nähdään hotelli.
Marco starts the engine.
Moi moi. Soita, jos on
The
jotain.
quiet of
Sure,
Profitis Ilias remains behind. The road descends once again, curve after curve. The sea gradually comes back into view. The towns grow larger. Signs of daily life return. The sun climbs higher into the sky. The roads fill with cars. Cafes fill with people. An ordinary day on Rhodes has begun. But for Marco, this morning has already been a journey, a small adventure, a reminder of how much can be seen, felt, and experienced in just a few hours. And perhaps that is the true value of mornings like this. Not the distance traveled, not the places visited, but the opportunity to see a familiar world in a different way. Before the crowds, before the noise, before the day takes over. It is 9:20 in the morning. The journey is nearing its end. One final stop awaits: Pavone Restaurant and the Peacock Sanctuary beside it. After the sea, after the mountains, after the ancient walls, it feels like an unexpected place to conclude the morning. But the best journeys often end with a surprise. A peacock comes into view. It walks calmly, gracefully, as if fully aware that it is the center of attention. Sunlight reflects from its feathers: blue, green, gold, turquoise. It seems as though all the colors of this morning have gathered in a single bird. A moment later, the peacock stops and slowly opens its tail, deliberately, almost ceremonially, like the final scene of the morning, like nature's own farewell. Marco watches in silence, the same way he watched the sea, the same way he watched the sunrise, the same way he looked across Rhodes from the mountain summit. Some moments do not need explanations. They simply need someone willing to witness them. Epilogue. Every journey comes to an end, but no good journey ever truly ends. What remains are the memories, the atmosphere, the sounds, the light, the wind, the scent of the sea. Years from now, a person may no longer remember the exact times or every road that was taken, but they will remember the feeling. They will remember the quiet streets before sunrise, the sea in the first light of morning, the wind on the heights of Profitis Ilias, the road that followed the coast of Rhodes. This morning began at 5:40 with the last streetlights of the night, and it ended shortly before 9:30. Only a few hours. Yet sometimes a few hours are enough for a complete journey, enough to see the world a little differently, enough to remember. Rhodes, May 27th, 2026. Morning in Rhodes. The end.